Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. I'm Cassie Trask. Today we're going to be playing with the Season's Greetings collection from Spellbinders. This is the Ski Lodge. It is all dies, and you have all the dies to make a wonderful little ski lodge scene, which is great. It coordinates beautifully with a couple of other products in the line that I won't be using today, but we also have the ski slopes, and then you have that Streamline 3D embossing folder. So great. We are going to pair it up with the Season's Greetings sentiments that goes with the BetterPress. And so you have the one die that, or the one plate that gives you all the sentiments, and then the one die that cuts all of those sentiments out. So we're going to pair those up, but let's go ahead and get started. To save a little time, I die cut out all of my pieces, and I did put them all back into that white cardstock piece using a little bit of Post-it tape. And I'm going to show you with the front of the packaging how to put it all together, but let's go ahead and color. We'll start with some E43 for our ski lodge itself. I am just slapping a lot of that color down. I will say doing it this way is actually really easy and super fun, but it does look messy on screen. And the reason for that is because you don't have to worry about going outside of the lines. That's, I mean, I don't want to say encouraged, but it's almost impossible not to. And so I really like this way of doing it. It just does end up looking a little bit messy before you pull all of that away from your white cardstock. I did use a white cardstock that works really well with Copic markers. And this is, when you have a lot of die cutting, this is really one of my favorite ways to do it. Just cut it out of some white cardstock and then put everything back in its place using some Post-it tape, and then you can just color away. What I do like about these dies is that they do have embossed lines on them. So take a look at that chimney. I'm going to add some of that E44 right over the top, going lightly, and then it exposes all of the embossed lines from that cobblestone of the chimney, which is really cool. It did the same thing with the brick that would go underneath the house, and so I just thought that was really neat. We're going to color up the railings using some more E87 and E89. And this is just a great way to add a little bit of shadowing and shading. Sometimes just using plain cardstock, colored cardstock, if you don't plan to add any ink blending on the sides, you don't end up with a lot of depth to the piece. It can still be super pretty that way as well, but this is just one of those ways to add a little bit of depth because you can add shadowing and shading to wherever you'd like it. Again, it looks really, really messy right here. In fact, if you just saw this part, this wouldn't be a good way to sell how to do this, in my opinion, because it does look so messy. And this piece just does not want to stay in its spot because it is pretty thin. So we're just coloring those pieces that would be dark and adding that shadowing and shading where we might want it. We will move on to coloring these pieces because they're just ready to fall out of there. So I'm going to grab the greens. This is the G29. That's going to be the string of our lights. And I do have not only sketch markers, but I also have the originals. Now those originals, those come with a chisel nib, which you see I'm using to add some of that flicking. And they also come with more of a drawing tip. Occasionally when I buy the original markers, I will also buy an extra nib, like a sketch nib, and that way I can put that in there if I decide. I would prefer to have that over a chisel or over the drawing nib. All right, we're going to put up all those colors, or we've been doing that. We'll do, this is our door, and then we'll blend those colors out. You'll notice most of the time I'm starting with my light color, adding my dark, and then blending it out with my light color again. Now we're just going to do the lights, and we're going to do like a red, orange, yellow, blue combination. So I'm just kind of coloring those out so that they're spaced evenly. This red is the R24. You don't see that till I put it back in my coffee mug. And then we have our orange. And then we will move on to our yellow. And then finally our blue. I figured doing it this way would make it look like it's really Christmas. I don't know about you, but I like to have the colored lights on the house And I also have it on our main Christmas tree, but I also then have a second Christmas tree where I like to have just nothing but white lights. All right, then we're going to add a C4 for the wiring around the lights. Again, it looks so messy, but I promise you in the end, this works really well. Then we'll bring in a C1 marker, and we're going to just add a little bit to the edge of, this is our snow cap. And then we're going to bring in some BGs for the windows. We've got some BG10, and we also have some BG70 where we'll blend that out a little bit. And we'll use those markers again. But then this is going to, I'll color those trees the same I did the other one. But this, now we can start pulling those out, and you can see what I'm talking about, how good that actually really looks. Goes from messy to the way it's supposed to. We'll add a little bit of glue to the tops of the stumps, and then we'll make all of our trees. I went ahead and die cut and colored up 5 of those to add to our scene. And now we can start piecing together our lodge. And I'm using just the packaging to kind of pay attention to where all those pieces go. Pretty simple to do, adding a little bit of glue here and there. We'll pull out the door. We can add the frame to the door. Trying to center that up. Then we'll add the frame for our window after we put the red door on. I actually put the door on upside down. Thankfully, I figured that out quick enough. And that's another reason why I oftentimes like liquid glue, because I tend to make those mistakes. So now we'll do the frame for our window. And then we can add the windows to those frames and the door. Pieces are starting to get small, so I'm going to grab in a pair of reverse tweezers. Highly recommend those if you're working with small pieces. All right, now we can add the railing and our chimney. We'll put our chimney together. I'm telling you, sometimes it's a series of unfortunate events, but since I'm using a clear liquid glue, even if I do drop it on my piece like I just did, you can wipe that away and it dries clear, so not a problem. So now we can add in our steps and our railings. And it's really starting to come together now that we are adding each of those pieces. You just gotta trust the process. And then just use a little pickup stick to put those down. Or your reverse tweezers would work great too. I think according to the package, this would go on after the roof is put on, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference. So I put my railings on first. I think it gives it more of a recessed look so that the roof comes out a little bit further than the stairs do and the railing. Which if I had a ski lodge, or I was going to a ski lodge, I would like that. Because if it's snowing and you still want to watch it, it'd be kind of fun to sit out on the deck and you can watch the snow and not get covered in it. All right, now we're going to piece those lights together. We'll put the glue on the green, just in dots. And then we can piece that over the top of our lights. And we'll do the same thing for the other ones. But here you can take a look at how cute the detail is on those lights. All right, now that both of the lights are done, I'm going to add some glue to the back of our roof. And that's where I'm going to attach the lights because they will be under that. Sometimes for me, it's just easier to put the glue on the piece and then bring the piece to whatever it is I need to glue to it. That just seemed to be a little bit easier for me. Now I can attach this to the front of our lodge. Really starting to come together. And I find die cutting, coloring, putting all that together very kind of therapeutic. And so, yes, this is a process, but I actually really enjoy the process, seeing it come together and come to life just is great. We're going to put the glue on the snow because the house is going to go on top of that. So it looks like that snow is just resting on top of your roof. And then you can add your chimney behind that. And then we're pretty much ready to start working on our scene building. I did want to grab some red cardstock, but I didn't have one that perfectly matched. So I'm going to make some of my own. And all I need is just one of the colors that I used. I'm using the chisel tip and I'm going all the way around the edge. That's really all I want because I want this poking around my scene panel. And so that worked out really well. And I have that one measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And the next piece only measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And so that's a really great way to make whatever cardstock color you want. And then I'm going to just start adding some glue to the sides of the trees, and we'll add those behind and in front of our lodge just to really make this scene come together, making sure that everything's going to stick onto my panel. We'll add another tree to the back there, and then we'll add this one to the front, staggering things and adding glue where we need it. I'm not going to attach this right down to the panel. I actually want to use some foam tape, I want that to stand out. But before we do that, I'm going to add a little bit of that blue. We're bringing in that BG10, and then we'll add that BG70 just to add a little bit of blue to the sky. It's so subtle. You can barely see it because once this dries, it dries back quite a bit. But it's there, and it looks nice, kind of ties everything together. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of this panel. Remember, that was 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then we'll attach it down to our red panel, quote unquote, you know, that it's not really red, but I made it red using my Copic. All right, and the next thing we need to do is grab some cotton panel for the BetterPress, and that's in the color Porcelain. I'm putting my plate down onto my BetterPress, and then I'm going to use some Post-it tape to attach down my panel. We'll ink that up with some black BetterPress ink. And then we'll add that to the top of our BetterPress and run that through our die cutting machine. And not only do you have this really cool, all those cool sentiments, they have an impression to them, and it's great. So now we're just going to attach down the die, run that through the die cutting machine, and then you'll have all of your sentiments ready to go for all the different cards you might want to make. So I'll pull out the one that I want, and then I'm going to add some foam tape. This is crafty foam tape. That's that from Scrapbook Adhesives. That is carried in the store, and I like to have it in all the sizes, the small, the big, the foam squares, the foam tape, and also these tiny ones. Now, you may think you don't need those, but I'm telling you right now, I didn't know I needed them until I had them, and I'm so glad I do. Those are the micro squares. Those are great. So I'll peel off all that release paper, and I'll put down all of my pieces to the front of my panel, and then I'm going to add one more sentiment to the inside of my card base, which measured 5 1/2 inches by 8 1/2 inches and was scored at 4 1/4 inches. It's a side folding A2 size card, and then we'll put our panel on top of our base. And I don't stop there. I do decide to bring in some of that rock candy, and this is the chunky stuff. Now, I am putting down some liquid glue. This is that Barely Art glue. It comes out white, but it is going to dry clear, so keep that in mind. I don't mind that. And your glitter is also clear. So once I pour that on there, it's going to look like it's snowy and white. It's more going to look like it's just wet and white, or not white, but clear. So you'll see that in the final pictures, but I really loved adding this stuff to it. It is just something that makes the difference. All right, now you can see what that looks like all dry. I love the glitter on there. It's so nice. This was such a fun project to make. And so if you like this video, please hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that ScrapbookPal has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.